I've seen in books and movies that people are afraid of dinosaurs, so I'm wondering if that was actually true in Bible times.
You know, that's a really good question. Now, let's think about it, because in Bible times, there were different things that had happened at different times. For example, when Adam and Eve were first created, the world was perfect. Deuteronomy 32:4 says every work of God is perfect. That's what we expected from God, was a perfect creation. And at the end of the creation week, God declared everything very good. It really was perfect. In fact, mankind was a vegetarian. All the animals were vegetarian. So even when you see a little, they're not chasing after you to eat anything. They really were perfect. You see a T-Rex here, he's not going to come after you. Now, we see movies all the time where these things are chasing people, whether it's Jurassic Park or Journey to the Center of the Earth. There's all sorts of shows that have dinosaurs chasing people around. But originally, it wasn't like that. These animals were originally vegetarian. In fact, man was given dominion over these animals. Now, let's think a little bit later in Bible times when Adam and Eve sinned against God. God cursed the ground. He cursed the animals. He sentenced man to die. Thorns and thistles came forth. In fact, I got some thorns and thistles here. And those just look scary. Look at the size of some of those. I got some cockleburrs in there. Those are some of the aspects of the curse that came about as a result of man's sin. So the world changed. Some of the dinosaurs probably did start to eat meat at that point. Some of them, it could have been later. It could have been more gradual. We simply don't know. By the time of the flood, when we see all those rock layers that have dinosaurs in them, some of them had eaten other things. For example, a T-Rex had eaten another little juvenile T-Rex and eaten a little duck-billed dinosaur, and we see its stomach contents in there fossilized. So at some point, they did start to eat meat. It was after sin, and that's a snapshot during the flood. Now, something else is interesting. The Bible talks about the fear of man being put in the animals after the flood. So I want you to think about that. God brought these animals to Noah. They came on board the ark, okay? But the fear of man was not in the animals at that point. That's what a lot of people, a lot of commentators, people who talk about the Bible, think of pastors and stuff. A lot of them thought, well, that's when the animal aggressions began between man and the animals after the flood, when God said that he put the fear of man in the animals. So that might be more when the aggressions were. So, yeah, we can have those different issues. A lot of the dragon accounts that we have throughout history, there was a conflict between man and these dinosaur-like creatures. And a lot of times the dragon ended up getting killed. So, yeah, they were oftentimes seen as quite vicious creatures. Not all of them, of course. And I think there's a good reason why Satan is sometimes compared to a dragon, like in the book of Revelation, because, well, dragons can be pretty vicious, and so could Satan. So I think there's a relationship there. But that is a really neat question. Originally, they probably weren't chasing you down. After sin, we see the adjustment and the change. But I would probably be a little nervous around dinosaurs if there was one in my backyard.
Absolutely.